Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week we are going to be looking at another what I eat in a day video. A lot of you guys asked what types of things I was able to find as a vegan there. Now I was lucky, of course, because I had my home that I can cook at, but a lot of these Airbnbs you can do a lot of cooking at home that you can find as well in Portugal, or things are pretty cheap to eat out, so you can definitely eat out and eat pretty healthy while you're there. So as far as breakfast goes, I try to keep it as simple as possible and as quick as possible. So I ate oatmeal on some days and I just made it with some water, and I put a little bit of the cane sugar that I had because that was the only sugar that I could find. And I topped it with some seeds just to give it a little bit more bulk and keep me full for a little bit longer, since I went longer periods without eating in between my meals because we were out and about and just busy. But yeah, this was a hearty breakfast and it was super delicious. So for lunch, I decided to just make a very simple soup. It's a very traditional Portuguese soup with the collards and potatoes. Now, normally they add chouriço, which is a Portuguese sausage, to it, but of course, because I'm vegan, I'm going to opt to not do that. This is something that I eat actually quite often since we grow, our greens in the garden. My mom actually makes this soup all the time for me, especially when I do a stretch of 12-hour shifts, because she knows that the collards, or she uses kale, really help to give me energy and help me bounce back basically. So yeah, this is probably my favorite soup, and it's literally the simplest soup ever. You just peel your potatoes, cut them up, put them in water with some bouillon, some seasonings, you put in your greens, and then you just let that just cook up. And the collards will infuse the water as well. It's so delicious. You can add some salt if you want to as well, and season it according to what you desire. But I just keep it really simple because it's just one of those hearty, cozy meals that I really enjoy, and it's a part of my Portuguese culture. So I had mentioned in my last video, because I was making my pumpkin soup, I am not thrown off of eating hot food even when it's like summertime. It really actually is quite soothing. It's my favorite meal. I love having different types of soup and I can eat it all year, no problem. The only time I find it difficult is, keeping the house, cool, especially when you don't have air conditioning. So that's the only time, using the oven in the summertime, I'll opt not to. But if it's a pretty decent day, I will throw the oven on and just cook up whatever I want, even though it's summer. So for dinner, I decided to just make a bean kind of bake in the oven, just soothing, comforting, really filling, high in fiber and protein. These beans came from the family farm. You'll see them in the family farm video if you go back and watch that. And also the tomatoes came from the family farm. So yeah, I was really fortunate that a lot of my meals surrounded food that was from the family farm, so I did not have to buy it. So it made everything really low cost and low budget meals as well. And these beans were, good enough for 2 days worth, because they're super, super filling. And I'm not used to eating this many beans, to be honest, but I thought, since I wanted a hearty meal and we're on the go, this was the perfect thing to make. And yes, I heated up the house with using the oven because this was in there for quite a while. But the houses are made very differently there than in, Toronto, Canada. They're made to keep everything cool. So even though I was using the oven, I did not find it uncomfortable in the house. We do have fans in the house. We don't have air conditioning, but it was not uncomfortable. And I think that's because of the way that they structure and make their houses. So anyway, yes, I baked in the oven and I decided to make another cozy meal even though it's summertime. And this is what I did. I just added some seasonings. I added some water and broth to it just to add some extra flavor. And then as it was cooking up, I just kept checking on it, mixing it, and seeing if I needed to add a little bit more water. And that's what I did until, they were cooked up to what I thought was a good consistency. And that is it. I decided to make some rice on the side, and then we had some leafy greens to use up, and then we had obviously all the tomatoes in the dish as well. So I thought it was a pretty good balanced meal, and it was really filling and delicious. So I'll probably show you guys in another video, but I did make, like I said, these beans a few times, and I did them once with some red peppers that were needing to be used up also from the family farm. So I mixed that with the tomato, and that kicked this up another notch, and I really enjoyed that day because they were just so flavorful. It's not like buying peppers at the grocery store, you know, at least here in Toronto. It's so different when you eat them fresh from the farm. It's the same thing when I pick, you know, my tomatoes from the garden. My tomatoes taste amazing, and I'm so sad that I'm going to have to eventually start buying tomatoes at the grocery store because they just don't taste like anything. Comment below if you agree, or if you find that, you know, a certain grocery store has better tomatoes, at least if you're in Toronto or in Canada in general, because where's the flavor, you know? When you grow your own, they're just fresh and so delicious. I don't know what they do with these tomatoes, even the organic ones, like they don't taste like anything. I eat it because I need to be healthy and have a balanced diet, but I don't eat it because it's super flavorful and delicious, because I don't really taste, you know, very much with these store-bought tomatoes, especially when I'm comparing them to my delicious ones from the garden. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna enjoy all of the goodies that we have in the garden while it lasts, and, you know, just think of all the positive meals that I had with fresh ingredients before we head into that cold weather. So that is it for this week's video. I hope you got some inspiration for some quick and easy meals for yourself. Especially, you know, like I said, these are really low cost, and of course even lower for me because they came from the family farm. You know, a lot of the ingredients came from there. But even if you are buying, you know, beans, dry beans, like they're very low in cost. Rice is very low in cost. So you can make these delicious meals really simply at home and not spend a ton of money, especially now when we are really trying to buckle down at the end of the year so that the holidays are more enjoyable. Okay guys, so that is it for this week's video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here on the channel. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you for all the love and support. Stay healthy, everyone. Health, joy, and positive vibes to each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.
Stop.